US aviation authorities have launched an investigation after a military helicopter carrying President Donald Trump reportedly came too close to a commercial passenger aircraft over Washington, D.C., raising fresh concerns about airspace safety around the nation's capital. Well, according to the reports from the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, the international news agencies, the incident took place on Tuesday afternoon when Marine One, the presidential helicopter, came within less than a mile of a departing passenger jet near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. While officials have stressed that there was no immediate danger of a collision and that the president was never at risk, the incident has prompted a formal investigation by the Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board. Well, according to the reports, the incident occurred at around 2:30 p.m. local time as an American Airlines Embraer E-170 aircraft operated by regional carrier Envoy Air was departing from Reagan National Airport. Marine One was flying towards Andrews Air Force Base where President Donald Trump was scheduled to board Air Force One for his onward trip to California. Reports indicate that communication between the helicopter and air traffic controller was briefly garbled, resulting in what aviation officials described as a loss of separation between the two aircraft. Reports familiar with the matter told that the helicopter came within less than a mile of the passenger aircraft before the situation was resolved, and the National Transportation Safety Board has confirmed that it is investigating what it described as a reported loss of separation event involving Marine One and a commercial aircraft departing Washington National Airport on August 4. Well, at the same time, the Federal Aviation Administration has also opened its own investigation to determine exactly what happened and whether established safety procedures were followed. In an official statement, the FAA said that the air traffic controller remained in contact with both the commercial pilot and the Marine One pilot throughout the incident. The agency emphasized that the president was never in danger and said that it would continue reviewing the event before deciding whether any corrective measures are necessary. The White House has also sought to reassure the public following the reports. White House spokesperson Kush Desai stated that Marine One is operated by some of the world's most experienced military aviators and stressed at no point was President Donald Trump in harm's way. Officials have maintained that while the aircraft came closer than recommended safety standards, there was never an imminent threat of a collision. And according to the Wall Street Journal, aviation safety regulations require aircraft in such situations in order to maintain a minimum horizontal separation of 1.5 miles and a vertical separation of at least 500 feet. Investigators are now expected to examine flight data, radar records, communication logs, and the action of both the pilots and air traffic controllers in order to determine why the required separation was not maintained and whether any operational lapses occurred. The incident has drawn particular attention because it comes just months after one of the deadliest aviation accidents in the recent US history. And in January 2025, a commercial airliner collided with a US Army Black Hawk helicopter near Washington, D.C., killing all the 67 people on board. And following that tragedy, the FAA introduced stricter safety measures and tighter operational procedures around Reagan National Airport in order to reduce the risk of similar incidents involving military and civilian aircraft sharing the same airspace. While officials have reiterated that Tuesday's event posed no direct danger to President Donald Trump or the passengers aboard the commercial flight, but the investigation is expected to focus on whether existing safety protocols were properly followed and if further changes are needed to prevent similar close encounters in one of the busiest and most closely monitored airspaces in the United States. The findings of the FAA and the NTSB investigations will determine whether additional safety recommendations or operational changes are required to strengthen aviation safety around Washington, D.C. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.